one nation,
one nation,
for all.
under God, indivisible, with liberty
liberty,
and
and
justice for all.
Justice for all.
Thank you. Carol, can you conduct a roll call of the officers?
Yes, Chairman Nolan,
Here.
Commissioner Abbey,
Here.
Commissioner D'Agostino,
here,
Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Yukna.
Here,
All right. And would you,
I'm
very
sorry,
good.
I want to introduce the rest of the,
I'm sorry, this is Commissioner Vasquez. I'm present.
okay, great, thank you. So noted. Also present for this meeting is the Executive Director, Jim Polos, the CFO to the MCIA, William Brennan. I am Carol Berlin. I am with Raynon Coughlin Minchello, and we are General Counsel to the IA. Mr. George Devaney is also here from Keywood Associates, as well as Sarah Clark from DEFCA.
All right. Very good. And would you read the Sunshine Law statement, please?
Yes. This meeting today conforms with Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, called the Open Public Meetings Act. And as per the requirements of the statute, notification of the meeting was published in the Star Ledger and Home News Tribune and filed with the Clerk of Middlesex County.
Very good. Thank you. Director Polis, do we have any committee reports?
Yes, a couple quick items. We have had great progress going on in our recycling department. I will say that our vendor has, as a result of some meetings that we had with them, has improved service significantly, is putting more resources into the county, providing more vehicles, backup. And in addition, we're also working on a software system, which we hope to implement shortly, which will help us corral and be able to better assign any complaints and be able to, in a more expeditious way, respond to single misses that might occur here and there throughout the county. It's a tried and true system. It's used in other areas. We've been testing it out and hope to get it off the ground shortly. And I'm sure I'll have a report on that in more detail at the next meeting. With your permission, Chairman, would you like me to run over the development project updates?
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay. The Morris Cancer Institute is moving along. The installation of the terracotta and glass panels is continuing. Installation of mechanical ductwork, piping, and framing is well underway on the lower floors. The MCIA parking garage, precast concrete installation for the garage has been completed. And maybe some of you noticed that the large crane that was there has been removed. Installation of the topping slab, as well as some electrical and mechanical work, will continue over the next few months. On the Valenti School, construction of the new school is progressing well. Installation of the exterior is nearly complete. Grading, paving outside in the courtyard, interior painting, and ceiling grids and other interior work is also underway. With respect to our train station, we are continuing to move swiftly. We've had some very positive meetings with both Amtrak and Transit. We're finalizing some design. We're doing some field work, and we are, on schedule, moving along with that project. Thank you.
Terrific. Great news. Thank you. Jim, do we have any correspondence?
No, we do not.
Any old business?
No, sir.
Any new business?
No, sir.
All right. Carol, discussion of resolutions.
8A, resolution of the Middlesex County Improvement Authority consenting to the transfer of a small triangular piece of property not needed for the Blanquita Valenti Community School Project. And 8B, resolution of the Middlesex County Improvement Authority for payment of expenses.
All right, very good. Now, let's see. I'm going to be, before we move forward, I want to get, we have somebody here that can talk about 8A. Is that right?
Yes, Sarah Clark is here, but before she speaks, if I could just give you a background.
Sure.
That this resolution is basically procedural in nature. The August 2020 redevelopment agreement requires the redeveloper to get the authority's prior written approval before they can sell or convey or transfer any interest in the property prior to the completion of the project. And I will let Ms. Clark speak to this triangular piece of property. It's my understanding it's not needed for the project. It was never included in the proposed area of the project. And she can explain to you about their subdivision and how they're transferring it back to New Brunswick, Jersey Urban Renewal Retail, which I understand was the original donor of the property to the developer. Ms. Clark, am I correct? Let's do that.
Yes, you're correct.
Did you have
Hello, Ms. Clark,
to
please.
add or explain? The
Sure.
authority?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. I will.
Good evening.
I will be brief. The property, as everyone recall, was donated for the purpose of building the new school. The donor at the time of the donation had requested that they be able to retain a very small portion of the property, just about 1/4 of an acre, which is actually not on the block proper. It's actually technically located on the adjacent block, but through acquisition and so forth had become part of the larger block and lot that was, is becoming the school site. At the time, because it was all one block and lot, it would have had to have been subdivided in order to allow the donor to retain that sliver of property. But from a timing standpoint, we wanted to make sure that we were able to progress with the approvals in order to get the project started, in order to make sure that we were able to and will be able to complete on time for the school, for the students to arrive and at the school in this fall. So in order to make all that time frame work, what we agreed to with the donor at the time was that we would pursue really kind of a cleanup at some point later on and actually pursue a subdivision that would separate that parcel from the larger parcel and then be able to donate it back. And as your council has explained, this is a procedural matter. The planning board has already approved the subdivision and being able to separate this corner. It really is located on the adjacent parcel. Early on, as part of the donation process, we did evaluate with the engineers and architect whether that small parcel would be useful to the property as a school. And it was decided, no, it is not. It is too remote and too small to really be of any use, and would certainly require fencing and other types of protection to make sure that it's protected. So as a result, it is not needed for the school project, and by pursuing this administrative matter and approval through the authority, we're able to adhere to the original transaction with the donor, which is namely to be able to provide this property back to them.
Good, great, very good. Thank you. Okay, let's move forward then with the agenda. I'm going to have, we're going to have to do an approval for the minutes. So I was not present for the meeting of March 8th, so I will not be voting. So I'm going to ask for a motion and a second, and then for the vote, we are going to have Carol's going to do a roll call vote. So first, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of March 8th?
Motion,
I make a
Christine.
motion.
Okay, and a second?
Second. Oh,
All right, we have a motion to say. So Carol, would you conduct a roll call?
Chairman Nolan,
Abstain?
Commissioner Abbey,
yes.
Commissioner D'Agostino,
Yes.
Commissioner Vasquez,
Yes.
Commissioner Yupner.
Yes.
All right, then that will pass. So it's time for public comments on resolutions. That is resolutions only. Is there anyone from the public who would like to comment on resolutions? Please identify yourself and where you're from, please. Do we have anybody?
We don't have anyone.
All right, that will be closed. And I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the resolutions.
Motion, Paul.
And a second?
Second,
Second, Tashi.
Thank you. All those in favor, aye.
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 Anyone opposed? That will pass. Can I get a motion to pay vouchers?
Yukna motion.
Thank you. And a second?
Christine, second.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? None opposed, and that will pass. So it's time for the public session. Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment on anything before us today?
Yes, we have one person with their hand raised.
All right. Would you please allow that person in? And please identify yourself and where you're from.
Yes, good evening, Charlie Cradaville, New Brunswick today. How are you, Chairman?
Good. Good evening, Charlie. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. I noticed that there was a special meeting of the board held on March 16th, and
Yes.
was not aware of it, so I wasn't able to attend. But I wanted
Sorry.
to ask. It's okay. I wanted to ask what the purpose of it was, what prompted something outside of the normal monthly schedule.
I don't know, Carol or Jim Polo, somebody want to handle that?
I just have the Wednesday, March 8th meeting.
We had the extra meeting there.
Let me go to my calendar.
I believe there was one
Thursday.
resolution regarding bonding.
Yeah, that was a timing issue, Charlie. I'll get somebody to give you a better explanation, but I want to say something. I think it was bond counsel or something needed it moved up, or it had to
Yeah,
fall in line with.
that's what it was.
time.
It had to, when they went out and they had to go to market for it, so they asked for a special meeting.
Yeah, the county was working on it, and they needed us to approve it to get it out through their bond counsel. It was just a timing matter.
Got it. So the county asked for a special meeting of the
Yes.
IF board. Okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
because they
would
wanted. I
ask-
think they wanted to act on it within a certain amount of time. And we had to precipitate that. We'd help
Right,
out.
there was a definite date, deadline. It may be reflected on the agenda, but I can't access that right now.
Okay.
It's totally fine. I understand these things do happen. I would ask, if possible, perhaps Mr. Polos or someone else at the authority, if there is going to be a special meeting, would you be able to, send me a notice or an agenda, so that I don't end up missing it?
Sure.
Thank you. And I do have to ask about another matter. The U.S. Attorney's Office on March 20th issued a press release I received. I'll read briefly from it. The U.S. Attorney's Office today filed a lawsuit in U.S. District Court for the District of New Jersey charging Roosevelt Care Centers for violating Title I of the Americans with Disabilities Act. U.S. Attorney Philip R. Sellinger announced the lawsuit alleges that Roosevelt Care Centers, a long-term care facility operated by the Middlesex County Improvement Authority, unlawfully terminated a dietary worker whose disability inhibited her ability to lift objects heavier than 20 pounds. Quote, no one should be denied their right to work because of a disability, U.S. Attorney Philip R. Sellinger said. Quote, the Americans with Disabilities Act was enacted to prohibit employers from denying employment to people with disabilities without making reasonable accommodation. The U.S. Attorney's Office is committed to protecting the civil rights and ensuring equal employment opportunities for all individuals with disabilities. I'm sure by now you must be familiar with this matter. I wanted to ask the authority what your response is to this, these serious allegations coming from the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Chairman, this
Yes.
is an ongoing litigation, and I would direct that no comments be made at this time.
Okay. So Charlie, it's in litigation, so we don't comment on pending litigation.
Okay. Well, I think a lot of people would like to hear what the other side of the story is, or what the defense is. I know this was many years ago, so
Right.
perhaps even before you got here, or maybe even before Mr. Polos got here. But I do think this is a serious allegation, and it deserves a public response from the authority. So I hope you'll reconsider and share with the public, what the authority has to say about this, and what's being done to prevent this type of thing from ever happening again.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's
Thank
all
you.
I have.
Very good. Thank you, Charlie. All right. We have executive session on the agenda, but I don't think we have anything, do we, Carol?
No, we don't, Chairman.
All right. That looks like it, everyone. So I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
Yuzna motion?
And a second.
Second, Tashi?
Great. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
And we are done. Thank you so much.